Hey, what's up, everybody? Coming in to this YouTube live to see if we get some people on here to discuss some of the stuff that's been happening here in the state of New Jersey with drones and everything else, and all the weird flyovers. So, I'm hoping people have brought some comments, got some information, whatever they want to share with what's ever going on. So we're going to talk. Hopefully we get some people that come on. I got a lot of interview lines out there and information. The chat is open if people want to get on and chat and ask questions. We're going to go over videos. We're going to go over some of the stuff that our own government's been saying, some of the videos. And so let me bring you over to the response right off the bat. While I'm waiting for people to come in, I'm just going to start rolling it. What the president's advisors say about what Biden knows about the drones.
And certainly made public. And we have two agencies that I've already mentioned that are looking into this, working closely with folks on the ground, trying to get to the bottom of it. I don't have anything more to share beyond that.
So I just wanted to follow up on your comment, or your. Yeah.
His time has expired. Chair.
So basically, what it comes down to is the same as always. All right, our government doesn't share. They're not telling us what's going on. They're saying they don't really know. They're monitoring the situation closely. It's just a bunch of bullshit. The same over and over again talk. So it's take it for what it is, but there's 10,000 videos up on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok now. So there's got to be something going on. Let's take a look at some of the stuff going on TikTok. And
Is that correct?
This was from the hearing the other day.
I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are. What is going on in New Jersey?
So, sir, the FBI and our Newark field office, along with the state and local partners there, the Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity over that part of New Jersey, including proximity to sensitive sites and areas of concern. So we do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights. But we're actively investigating. It is concerning.
Is the public at risk? Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that.
Sorry, I was talking to mute. So why are we worried about this canned response? The government's saying there's nothing to worry about yet, but at the same time, who says there's not something to worry about? If they're flying over reservoirs, they're unattached to any organization that we know of just of yet. The speculation with Van Drew's office saying that they're coming out of Iran from a mothership. Why should we not be taking some extra care and concern? Why should we be forced into believing we have nothing to fear or worry about yet? It seems a little bit much to me, but let's finish watching what this guy's saying here.
But we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are?
So we seen that guy, and that's the truth of the answer, right? We don't know what they are. I don't know. Seems like a little much to me. It's a little wild. But
I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen about anything. Okay, it was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it. But they say there's no credible threat. It was annoying to be there. I drove 2 hours to be here today. Spent an hour in there. I got to drive 2 hours back. The biggest waste of 5 hours in my entire life.
So why do you think they called this meeting?
No idea. Why would you call a meeting to tell people you don't know anything? I have no idea. And then when the legislators would ask questions, there were no answers. Here's the most frustrating part. The colonel of the state police said that he had a helicopter of his flying above one of these drones, a 6-foot drone or something. I can't remember exactly what he said. And he felt unsafe for his helicopter, so he just let it go. Just let it go. Where'd it go? Who knows? Didn't want to follow it because he didn't feel safe. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? I mean, honestly.
Do they have any? Do they have any idea where these drones are originating?
No, they don't. They would. Maybe if they followed that sucker to when it landed, they would know. But they don't. This is a complete lack of effort, in my opinion, on trying to figure this out. This is not about ability. We have the technology. We have the people. We have the training. We have the resources. We have the money. It's just a lack of effort. I mean,
why?
I don't know. They should be saying, you know what they should have done today with productive use of our time if they didn't know anything? Come in there and say, hey, legislators, we don't know anything. But if you get us these 10 things, do these 10 things for us, and the governor calls in this kind of action, we can figure it out. Will you help us? And then we would have helped them. But instead it was just excuse after excuse, and we know nothing. It was infuriating, and I got up and I walked out.
You've been in the.
So, I mean, there you have it, right? Our own people, Bergen here. What a great guy, being very honest to the core, just talking about what's going on, saying the whole thing is bullshit. He's never seen anything like that in his entire life. In a roundabout way, he's saying, they're kind of stonewalling on saying they don't know what's going on. I think what it is they do know. They don't want to say too much. They don't want to cause any fear or anything else. And the other thing too is we have such a gotcha moment in society today. Nobody wants to say anything that's out of line, and then further down the road that's used against them. But Bergen's right. Why waste his time? Why waste the legislation's time to sit in there and have a whole friggin' meeting on speculation for the answer to come out and go, I don't know. I don't know. Am I wrong? Does anybody else have any remarks on this? Any comments? Let me know.
So aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. These are not U.S. military drones. There's no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States.
I walked out because it was.
All right. So no Iranian ship coming off of.
So at this time,
this goes back to what Van Drew had said earlier today. So who's lying here? Who's making shit up? Are they making shit up over at the Pentagon, or is Van Drew making shit up? In any event, somebody's going to be in a lot of fucking trouble for this, and it looks like Van Drew's going to get caught holding the bag on this because our own government just kind of didn't back him up and kind of called bullshit on him. So I just think it's a little weird, but this is what came down from the Pentagon. Let's play this while we're waiting for other people to join.
So aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. These are not U.S. military drones. There's no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
I don't know, Van Drew. This lady just called you out here. I've been scouring the internet for a while, and I don't see any co-response to this. I didn't see anything combating that, this is wrong, this lady's lying or whatever. So I hope he steps up and comes to the plate and continues to go to bat for what he believes is real and the truth, and maybe he is telling the truth, and maybe somebody got a hold of him and said, hey, you need to shut the fuck up because you're letting out too much information. I don't know.
Blunt.
Here we go. Here's
We have
Van
a
Drew.
serious problem with our airspace. The recent sightings of unidentified drones in the state of New Jersey, my home state, is justifiably causing tremendous public concern. These drones are large, they're sophisticated. We don't know for sure who's controlling them, and the FAA's current capabilities cannot even locate them on radar. We have a hole in our monitoring systems, and we have a hole in our radar currently. And the truth.
Oh, just those two statements alone. We have a hole in our monitoring systems and a hole in our radar. That alone should make you more afraid of counterattacks or attacks from other countries more than anything else. And just besides these drones, it sounds like our nose is wide open, and we're not putting our money in our government to where it needs to be. I know we said billions of fucking dollars over to Ukraine, and they're the top technology drone war country now. Now, we got to look to them according to C-SPAN. I think it's a little nuts, but let's continue to watch Van Drew, because I'm watching this and I'm looking at the guy and I'm thinking, this guy's in line. He's fucking telling it how it is. It's a shame that the Pentagon went behind him and tried to reverse everything he said, but let's listen to the rest of this.
Truth is, whether people want to hear it or not, we are vulnerable. Our government has failed to effectively regulate our drone industry, and this is not an isolated incident or an isolated phenomenon. Unidentified drones are running across the country. And let me be blunt and again say it how it is. Foreign drone technology, particularly China, is a full decade, 10 years ahead of where we are. That is unacceptable in America. We are number one. We've always been number one, but we're not now. And they can take, and they intend to take, full advantage of our vulnerabilities. I've learned, for real, that there is circumstantial evidence that there is an Iranian mothership off the east coast of the United States, and that's launching these drone incursions. They are from high, good sources, individuals who are reputable, individuals who speak with authority, unfortunately are concerned with identifying who they are at this point who are saying this, but this is true.
So at this time, aware of those drone sightings that have been.
So, this was the video right after it where the Pentagon, is going back on what he said, but Van Drew really opened up a lot of stuff for discussion there. There's a lot of things to worry about and be concerned about. The fact that we already know China's way technically more advanced than we are. We already know that China owns so much land en masse here in the United States. We already know that the United States is so far into debt with China. Are we getting ready to be maybe taken over by China? Is that really what's going on here? Is there something bigger than that? I don't believe in a lot of conspiracies and stuff, but there's something happening here. Something's definitely happening, and this is really a major thing.
We have breaking news when it comes to those mystery drones flying over the state of New Jersey. As of right now, a New Jersey congressman is saying that these mystery drones are coming from an Iranian mothership off.
So, with Van Drew making that statement and now it's getting out broad and everywhere else, I would think that in that capacity where he made that statement, he wouldn't be able to make that statement if it wasn't true. It would be, one, it'd be political career suicide. And two, I'm sure talking to the Congress and other people like that, it's probably got to be illegal, because he's giving false testimony. So I just don't see this guy putting his livelihood and his life on the line for that. And then the other thing too is, now let's see if unfortunately if Van Drew ends up like Epstein, and God forbid, I'm definitely not hoping for that, but I think that'll be a major clue, if God forbid it happened, to how truthful he was with it. Some videos here. I mean,
Drones flying over New Jersey are nothing. It's just media hype and frenzy to get clicks. Let's debunk a lot of your fears with just common sense and some logical deduction.
All
The
right,
New
let's hear what
Jersey
he says.
congressman claims that these drones are coming from an Iranian mothership offshore. Iran doesn't have the funding or the tech capability to create any kind of mothership that could make it all the way across the Atlantic and then launch something against this country. In fact, Iran has not been this weak since
The fact that this guy's whole position is that Iran doesn't have enough money or the technology to do this. Who's to say that it's not funded by China or by the Soviet Union? And Iran could just be the front for it. I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows that we haven't secretly given Iran money under some kind of a weird deal years ago, and they've used that against us. It's not uncommon for us to become partners with people and do do what they them turn their backs on us. So Joe, I see your comment that you don't believe it's the Iranians, and look, it's very possible because they were not the most affluent and technology savvy country, but at the same time, they got many backers. I really believe if it is Iran, it's going to be coming from China. This is like Wuhan COVID, the drone edition.
drones flying over New Jersey.
All right, so this looks more like a plane with the speed. This guy's saying it's a drone. But there's no way that's definitely a plane.
Oh my God, here we go. Here it is.
All right, so these are a little bit more likely to be
Freaking kidding
what
me.
we're looking at because this is what seems to be typical. These things slowing down,
Is that?
changing direction.
Oh my God, here we go. Here it is.
You know what, Joe? Guaranteed. Sorry, David. 100%, Dave. It's definitely concerning. The scenario is way disturbing, no matter what it is, whether it's Iran, China, Russia. It doesn't make a difference. The fact that we're exposed to our technology not being where it needs to be, and we're exposed to being years behind other militaries because we've been defunded so long, and military budgets cut and spending. And I don't care who you voted for. This isn't about the election or anything, but we've had a strong administration that had cut a lot of military budget. Two prior cut military budget. And this could be a reason why. We got to get back up to be the number one superpower where we were. China's got the largest army in the world and the largest defenses. So we're not the superpower that we once were. But yeah, David, you're right. It's definitely disturbing. If anybody has any videos they want to bring in, whatever, you can text or get in through the interview chat.
Apparent drones, gigantic ones, have been spotted lighting up the skies in New Jersey and even into Philadelphia. And now Congress and everybody else wants to get to the bottom of it. Representative Jeff Van Drew even telling Fox News they need to be shot down.
Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. These drones should be shot down, whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine or whether it is Iran.
And Greg, this was as elected officials there in the
There you go.
Garden State held a closed-door meeting about these things.
Yeah, Jason, they did have a closed-door meeting, and to be honest, I mean, this is something that everybody is talking about, and the fact that there is no kind of definite answer in regards to these drones, that's leading to a lot of mixed feelings.
It's so close, and it's going so...
So the crazy thing about trying to shoot down some of these drones is where they're located, because they're located over a lot of residential areas and stuff. And the artillery that we have here is probably a little heavy. If we can't send a fighter jet after it, because if you shoot down a drone with the fighter jet, it's probably going to go through the drone and probably knock out half a neighborhood. But nonetheless, I mean, this is definitely nuts. Joe Moore, I know that you don't think it's Iran. I'm not saying that it is for sure, but It just seems very specific, unless we got a whole thing happening with Iran and we're looking for weapons of mass destruction again, and we're headed out to fight somebody that has got nothing to do with anything. More drone
Got a
videos. I
bombshell
mean,
for
they're
you.
all over the
Those
place.
mysterious drones everyone's been buzzing about? Well, buckle up, because this is wild. An anonymous whistleblower just dropped a truth bomb that's out of this world, literally. These drones? Breaking news. We've got confirmation on those mysterious drones. Turns out they from a mothership off the East Coast. V. Drew will not release his informant, but stand strong by his statement, as this whistleblower doesn't want named. We've got a bombshell for you. Those mysterious drones everyone's been buzzing about? Well, buckle up, because this is wild.
Yeah. Joe, whatever they are, the government is, you're right. It's, speculation is great. It's, it's because disinformation, right? It disinform a large group of people and it starts to cause chaos. I know there was a Netflix movie on not too long ago, about that, disinformation and stuff, and it was pretty cool. I can't remember the name of it, but it was true. First, you send out false information, you cause panic and fear, and then next thing you know, you got all sorts of chaos throughout your population. And yeah, if they continue with the stories that these drones are flying over our reservoirs and stuff like that, is that going to cause a run on bottled water from from all the big stores and stuff, and then food and groceries, because it's going to expand again? Or are we going to be like the initial shutdown of COVID, where everybody was freaking out and panicking and running to the grocery stores and grabbing everything off the shelves? Disinform will definitely take us apart. It's wars are fought a lot different now. These are all technology and everything else, but make no mistake, wherever these drones are coming from, we're under attack right now. This is definitely an attack on the United States. These are unauthorized drones, regardless of what they're doing, reconnaissance surveys or whatever. They don't belong here. This is an attack on our very own soil, even though it's in our airspace.
Lawmakers in Washington have taken notice of a number of mysterious drone sightings right here in our region. The FBI testified yesterday before a House panel. However, they had no concrete information as to what is going on. Mayors in New Jersey are meeting today with state police and New Jersey Homeland Security to discuss the drone sightings. Some leaders are even considering drastic measures to ensure public safety, such as a limited state of emergency, until they get some answers.
So we're in a limited state of emergency.
We've got a bombshell.
I guess you can't fly your own drone over.
Drone sightings.
So it's I don't know. It's a little much. Let me check over into the comments, see if anybody's got anything that they want to post or say here, and see what's going on. Anybody have any live video or anything that they want to send in? I'll send you a link, and you can, head over to our channel and go live in real time. And that they want to send in, I'll send you a link, and you can, head over to. So we got 92% of people said they go live, believe that our government is lying to us. Let me bring you over to this here. I wanted to show some of this here.
Recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Chairman. And, sometimes I feel like I'm in the twilight zone up here. Like month after month, people come before us, they testify, and you don't get a lot of answers. And it's concerning, it's frustrating. You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
Sir, the FBI and our Newark field office, along with the state and local partners there, the Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity over that part of New Jersey, including proximity to sensitive sites and areas of concern. So we do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights. But we're actively investigating. It is concerning.
Is the public at risk? Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that, but we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
I think
So I want to share this video here. Hey, Ryan, can you hear me?
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing, everybody? So I got Mayor Ryan Hurd on. Ryan, what township are you from there?
So this is the township of Pequannock. We are northern New Jersey. If you know the area 287 and 23 where they come together, right next to Wayne. We're about 15 miles outside of New York City.
Okay, so right in the hub of the hotspot of really the center of what's going on right now, right? You're like
Unfortunately.
stone's throw from the Iranian mothership.
Exactly. Whatever's going on there. I have no idea, and I'm very frustrated, I have to tell you.
So what is the governor? Because I know that you mayor's got access to the governor and everything, and we've heard as the public, we heard very a quick little thing from Murphy. We know he didn't attend what appeared to be a very important meeting today. Not sure why. I don't know if we didn't get the answer yet or if we have. But what's your thoughts with Murphy and what he knows and what he doesn't know?
Useless. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You are the governor of New Jersey. There are sightings. In the meeting, they said that they saw that we have sightings of 130, 140, 180. I personally saw 60 over the township of Pequannock. This was, I want to say Sunday, when we didn't have any cloud cover. It was a beautiful night, starry night. It was perfect. The air was crisp. I went out there with my boys. We counted 60. They were all over the place.
Yeah.
You are the governor of New Jersey. Multiple mayors have expressed concerns. There was 180 mayors at this meeting, and you didn't show up. You've got drones that apparently nobody knows who is flying them. You don't know where they're taking off. You don't know where they're going. You don't know where they're coming back to. And you're not going to be at the mayor's meeting? Are you kidding me? That's disrespectful.
It seems like a very critical point right now because, we're at the point where in New Jersey here, it's starting to cause a little bit of a panic. When you monitor some of the social media sites and everything else, there's 27,000 people now part of the New Jersey mystery drone site.
That's amazing.
On Facebook. And that's grown in a matter of 7 or 8 days. But you're starting to see the tide turn where people are stopping with the speculation and they're starting to ask questions. Hey, is anybody else afraid? Does anybody else have any fear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I mean, when we talk about things like this, the first thing I want to caution everybody, I want to make sure that we get this right? So as far as shooting one out of the sky, no, we're not going to do that. I mean, listen, I am a legitimate holder. I'm not going to be shooting one out. I don't want anybody else to shoot one out in New Jersey. You can't even shoot a BB gun in your backyard. Okay. The biggest thing is the unintended consequences. God forbid one of these things go down and they go into your neighbor's house and kill 6 people in there. I mean, you're going to feel bad at the very least. So don't do it. Let's not be shooting them down. With that said, the federal government absolutely should be shooting them down over the ocean. So I'm 100% for that. Within the state, that's an issue. Now, with that said, here's the biggest problem. And one of the questions that I really don't want to answer, but one of the residents brought up to me is they were saying, you know what? With everything going on in the world today, with everything that we see on social media, on X, on YouTube, on mainstream media, we're seeing all these things about Ukraine and Syria. We're seeing the bombings. We're seeing these things dropped on the soldiers. Can that happen in Pequannock? Can that happen in Morris County? Can it happen in New Jersey? That's a serious concern. That's a huge concern. And then the other concern is this. When I say drones to a typical person, I mean, you're thinking about a drone maybe the size of the palms of your hand. You've seen it at weddings. You've seen it at other things, right? It goes up. It makes this annoying noise. If it's too close, you hear it in your video, all that kind of stuff. These drones are literally the size of a Tahoe or a school bus. And they come back night after night and they're flying over our houses where my family is, where my kids are. I have a right to know what's going on. I mean, are they taking pictures? Are they doing LiDAR scanning? Are they doing heat map? Why are they doing this? Why are you invading my private space? I have a right to know. The people in New Jersey have a right to know, and we will get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm glad that you brought up. Everybody does need to be sensible about it. We're not 100% sure what's flying around, but we definitely do not want to take matters in our own hands because inadvertently we can cause a lot more harm than good. I mean, it's, and I get that. I had a question here from Wendy Smith. She wanted to know if you can explain exactly what you saw.
Great question. So I'm going to go back to when it started. In this meeting, New Jersey State Police said that they started fielding calls around November 18th. I started hearing it from my residents right around Thanksgiving. And I'll be honest, I really didn't pay any mind to it. Somebody starts saying, did you see the drones out? And, whatever, it's Thanksgiving. And then the next day is Black Friday. You're doing your shopping. And all of a sudden that weekend, you start getting a lot of calls. Have you seen the drones? What's this thing with the drones? I start getting calls. So we started looking, and I think it was that Sunday was the first time I actually went to look for them. And I literally just had to go out my front door, out my driveway, and boom. The township of Pequannock is 7 square miles, 15,500 people, pretty much flat. So you're able to get a really good eyesight on the horizon of everything that's going on. And we saw these blinky lights all over the place. So the first thing I thought is, wow, there's a lot of drones out here. What's going on? But what really freaked me out is I still expected to see a drone, the first thing that's popping in your head that everybody sees, a DJI drone that we get for Christmas and whatnot. You get it for your kids. No. All of a sudden, I hear what seems to be like a jet. Now, again, where we're located, we're kind of in that line of Newark Airport. We're in that line of Teterboro and Morris County. So it's, private air jets and that kind of thing. So I'm used to hearing them. I see them, whatnot. But this was different. And it was at night. And then all of a sudden, literally on the other side of the street, about 200 feet high. And I know that because of reference was the tree that's across the street. It's a pine tree, a vertical pine tree. So it's about twice as high as that pine tree. And this thing, you see the belly of it. I'm like, that's a plane. Wait, why is the plane so close? Literally. So all these pictures that we're seeing online, and we're trying to get clearer pictures. Right. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm also seeing like a suitcase style traditional drone 4 propeller kind of thing, but big, not tiny. I haven't seen any tiny stuff. Yeah, quadcopter, exactly. So that's what I've physically seen. And then, of course, when I talk to other people, a lot of people I've seen. Now, again, I'm going to say the audience and everybody else, I get it. It's fun. Maybe ET just wants to come out and phone home. 100%. Right. Totally understand.
Yep.
But orbs, I'm calling BS on that. Sorry, guys. Changing the time in your car. Yeah, I'm calling BS on that as well. I read the books too. The 80s were great. I get it. But, I don't think that's happening. Let's try to really be focused on what's actually happened and let's solve this problem.
So now with Vandrew making that statement today, um, major mind blowing statement. It's a couple of things that we were briefly talking about before you popped on is a couple scenarios here. One, Vandrew could be 100% off his rocker and just committed political suicide. Two,
Yeah. Yeah.
he told it as it is, laid it out, and just said, "You know what? I represent the American people. I'm letting them know what's going on." In
Yeah.
any event, there's a lot of issue here with his statement alone because the Pentagon was on shortly after that with the press secretary, saying everything Van Drew said was wrong.
So you have him saying there's a Iranian ship that is
Yep,
launching
Iranian
them.
mothership.
And then you have Congressman Smith that is saying that there is, they have the patrol has seen 50 drones come from the sea, go across, let's say land and go back. So something's there. And I'm going to agree. I don't know him at all. I don't know Congressman Smith as well. So I don't want to disrespect them. But you're absolutely right. The first thing I think when I hear this guy talking about that, I think you're off your rocker. Absolutely. But I got to tell you, in the last couple of years, every great conspiracy theory tends to be true. So with a grain of salt. Now, with that said, I come from the tech industry. That is my day job. So I deal with AI, ML, all this fancy stuff. And I've started calling and reaching out to everybody I know within the industry. And I've been hooked up with some really smart people that are way smarter than I'll ever be. And we're talking about, okay, why would this be happening? And what problem are they trying to solve? And we have a bunch of theories. The one thing that did come up is I have some friends that are deep into military tech, and we don't believe that the Iranians have the ship or the capacity to do this. With that said, who does? China clearly does, right?
Yep.
Maybe Russia does. So I don't know. If we could get some kind of clarification again in this meeting, it was clarified the Coast Guard had drones following them. It was clarified from the Coast Guard that 50 drones came from sea and then went over. So, with a grain of salt, I don't know. I can tell you what's going on in Pequannock. I can tell you what's going on around me, but I don't know.
So yeah, now with the Coast Guard kind of confirming that they're coming from the sea, which is very possible, and I don't doubt that Iran, if it is indeed them or not, but a small country like that, they don't have the technology, they don't have the financial whereabouts, but without the backing of a bigger country like China,
Yeah.
or even the Russian government, and I just think in any event, if this is not a U.S. military exercise above our great country, and this is any foreign country, even if it's Canada, this is an act of war. They are invading our airspace. They are here without our permission. They are here unannounced, and they are on our soil. And so we may see some more to come.
Well, I'd prefer not to think like that. I understand that's the realm of possibilities. I'd like to pull back and say, okay, let's try to be as logical as possible. If I was a tech startup and I needed to do X, solve this problem, what is the problem I'm trying to solve? Because there are things that are happening. In other words, these drones do have blinky lights. The blinky lights are on.
Right.
Okay. Well, if I was nefarious, why would I have the lights on? So that's number one. Number two, they're clearly flying in a grid pattern, and they are flying relatively in tune with FAA laws. So rules and regulations. So, I
for the most
don't
part.
know. For the most part. But then there's the flip side. So it comes down to this fundamental question. Are they the good guys or are they the bad guys? If they're the good guys, then it's us. But then the question is, why are we doing this? Because at the end of the day, regardless, they're 200 feet over our house, and that's an invasion of privacy. So I have every right to know. Now, if it's because they have a new technology stack that's on it, Okay, well, that is available on satellites. So what's the benefit of having it on a drone? Well, the benefit is having higher resolution. It's closer,
Right.
less latency, it's higher quality.
Yeah.
But then why are these drones coming back 6, 7, 10, 15 times in my town? Why are they not mapping this, going to your town, mapping that town, going over here? Like,
Right.
again, we have a right to know. And here's another thing I want to put out there. I'm a Jersey boy. I clearly have a chip on my shoulder. I have no problem with that. New York City was, my playground growing up. And you go into New York City and it's chaos. There's chaos. There's people all over the place. There's cars all over the place. You go into the subway, there's people all over the place. One of the things I thought about the other day when I saw all the drones in the sky is, like, is this the world we want to live in? Do we want chaos here, down here, and above us, like 360 degrees? Even if it was Amazon package delivery, like, is that what that would look like? Is that what I want around, my neighborhood at night? Are we going to accept that? I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's a little much. It's a little much. And I'm a hobbyist when it comes to flying drones also. I also have a DJI drone. But I know that I cannot shut off my lights if another drone approaches me. So I can go dark. I know that my drone is registered. I have one that is under the 249 kilograms, so it doesn't have to be registered, but it does send out a beacon signal that is
Right.
built into it. So, those are all part of the FAA regulations because we, even though the drone is 200 feet up or 400 feet up, we're
Yeah.
sharing airspace. So in a sense, or out in the open, yes. So you said it appears they are following some of the rules and regulations, but then we're also getting reports where when they're approached, they go dark, and they're not showing up on any of the air reports or anything like
Yeah.
that. So
We can definitely confirm that they're not showing up on any of the reports. And then there's a bunch of other questions, right? So the question comes down to, I have my house, I own my property. What above my property do I own? Is it 85 feet? Is it 400 feet? I've actually heard that FAA actually controls the airspace 1 foot off the ground
they
on
do.
up.
It's not part of your real property. You don't have that people. You don't own from this core of the earth up
Right,
to
straight up.
straight up. Unfortunately, it's just not the way it works.
Yeah.
But it is intrusive. I mean, my house. I'm down in the southern part of the state, and I'm in a flight pattern for Philadelphia National Airport. They make the
Okay.
U-turns
Yeah.
above my house all day long. But down here where we are near Voorhees, New Jersey, we've recently in the last week or two have had quite a bit of drone sightings also. And I was skeptical also. I'm like, come on, this is
Yeah.
crazy. And then one night we were out and we were drone hunting and we were looking, and then we saw what appeared to be a drone fly over. We have a Nike base radar station down the street from
Okay.
us, and it was flying near it. And I said, I don't know, maybe it's a plane, but then it stopped and it changed direction almost immediately. There was no heavy rotor sound from an airplane. I mean, from a helicopter or anything. We have 3 major hospitals that medevac all day and all night, unfortunately. And it was nothing like it. It was a very bright light, and this thing changed direction really quick and disappeared fast as hell.
Yeah. And we also have confirmed flights over Picatinny Arsenal. So up by me in Morris County, there's Picatinny Arsenal, and that is restricted airspace. And they have confirmed, I believe they came out today and confirmed that there has been flights over Picatinny Arsenal. Now it's restricted airspace. So here's the interesting thing going forward, because in northern New Jersey, the last 3 nights we've had low cloud cover and it's been raining.
Right.
So when this starts going out, my question is, they have restricted airspace over Bedminster, where Trump's place is. They have restricted airspace over Picatinny Arsenal. So when we really start seeing drones again, are they going to follow those rules? So that's an interesting thing. And another point is, when we talk about where are they coming from, and then where are they starting from and where are they ending, where are they landing? It seems like we can't figure that out. Obviously, they need to land somewhere, and it's got to be a relatively big place. Logically, the most logical, based on where all the sightings are, the most logical is actually in the ocean. That makes the most sense to launch from and then go here to the Newark Pequannock area, here
Yep.
to Jersey, here to southern. Just a logistical sense, it makes most sense to do that. So, for what it's
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah, and the drones definitely have the range. Even my, what would be considered as a toy, it has a 4-mile line of sight range.
That's pretty huge.
That's a lot for a hobby drone. All right. Well, listen, Mr. Hurd, I really appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
And answering some questions. And I really hope that the governor gets with you mayors and starts answering some questions and get some answers for you folks so that you can get out the right information. Because right now the biggest fear is the fear of the unknown, and speculation runs
Absolutely.
wild, and disinformation is probably the worst thing for us at this time.
Yeah, remember, I'm going to be on Fox Business tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I'm also
Okay.
going to be on Fox Show this evening at 11 p.m. I'm leaving actually right now.
All right.
So if anybody has any questions that you want me to ask or press, please put it in the description here. I think I also posted it on your page. And let's see. We've got to keep the pressure on. We got to get our questions answered.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on. Have a great
Thank you.
night, huh?
Appreciate you. Have a good one. Well, there you go, folks. Mayor Ryan Hurd coming in, he's talking about how Murphy's not showing up. He's not coming to the plate. I don't know if anybody's surprised by that or not. And the other thing too is let my wife says give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I'm a little more of a skeptic when it comes to stuff, but let's give Murphy the benefit of the doubt. Let's say Van Drew dropped this friggin' bomb today. And now they're scrambling because people got to find out where their allegiance is and where they're going to align. What side of the truth are they going to be on? Somebody's lying. Okay, it's very clear. There's no way that this is not going to be somebody lying. So we got to find out sooner or later. But I think maybe Murphy just really had to regroup today and hold off from that meeting before he said some shit that got him in trouble, or he was on the wrong side of it and it hurts him further down the road. Murphy's not just our governor; he's a businessman. He owns many businesses here in the state. He does business worldwide, so he needs to keep his credibility. Don't get me wrong either. I'm not taking his side. I'm just saying, let's assume something's going on. Wendy, it looks like your question here. Ask if we know the fact that Russia and China has the technology. I believe the mayor said that they do. You know what, Wendy? The mayor's off already, but I can answer that for you just on some of the research that I've been doing. Prior to starting up tonight and everything else, I was watching the war in the Ukraine with Russia. So at one point, the Ukraine was really kicking Russia's ass with these drones. And the amount of technology and time that they've been building them and using them. Well, Russia has their counter force now where they've been able to match the Ukraine with that drone energy. So the Russia does have the technology to do it. They can have the money, they have the technology, they have the people, the manpower. They're allies with China, so there will be no shortage of parts or anything needed to assemble these drones and get them up and running. So yeah, I believe that that's definitely possible. Does anybody else want to come on the live? Let me know. Put it in the comment there. We'll bring you in. Anybody has any live videos they want to share? I'm gonna try to stay on for probably about another 10 minutes, give or take, and then set this up again in a couple of days. We get more people on. We find out some more information. I'm gonna see if I can get Van Drew here. I highly doubt that'll work. I don't think it'll be possible. Maybe I can get the guy that delivers his packages. I don't know, but we'll see if we can get somebody here. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on here in the government. So let me see. I want to bring in. You're welcome, Wendy. Let's see here. So I'm going to bring in Murphy's video again. Hold on.
State are calling for an investigation into the growing number of reports of nighttime flights by drones. They want to know who's flying them and why. Here's New Jersey reporter Tony Yates.
I saw them fly over my house. I didn't get as good a view as it was one of those, oh my gosh, everybody run outside.
It's the not knowing who owns them and why are they flying them, sometimes as low as the treetops, that has people worried.
It would be very difficult for a small business or even a medium-sized business to have the ability to pilot a large group of these and be this systematic over a long period of time, which leads you to either a large firm or possibly the government.
Mayor Morello joined 20 other mayors signing a letter to Governor Murphy saying it's time for an investigation. Drones flying at night in formation. One report says when an official aircraft approached one set one night, the lights on the drones went dark. And last night, 49 additional sightings were reported, including 20 in Hunterdon County.
I was on with the White House and Homeland Security leadership literally at the very top yesterday for pretty much all day. I'm hoping we'll get answers sooner than later.
The Morris County mayors are asking for a full investigation to determine their origin, purpose, if they are in compliance with regulations, clear communication to local officials, law enforcement, and residents on the findings of that investigation, and they want measures put in place to prevent unauthorized or unsafe drone operations in Morris County.
It's difficult to kind of wrap your head around. They're no threat, but we don't know what they're there for or who's piloting.
The FBI, Homeland Security, and state police are asking anyone with any information about the drones or if you've seen the drones to contact them at 1-800-CALL-FBI. In Washington Township, Tony Yates, Channel 7.
Well, there you have it, right? 1-800-CALL-FBI. I'm putting a number in here. If you look down at the bottom, you'll see this is the number, 609-292-6000. This is the number to Governor Murphy's office. Maybe we start a calling campaign. Everybody just keep calling and calling and calling. To let them know that, hey, we need answers. We got to get some answers. Because it is a scary situation. And, it's kind of fucked up. But we'll see what we get. And, we're going to see if we can get some more of the local mayors on from the local towns. And I'll post up when we're going to broadcast again. In the meantime, if anybody has anything that they want to add to this, they can send me an email. It's attached here. And send your videos, send, whatever you need. Not what you need. Send your videos, your questions, information. If you have any contact numbers for any political figures in the area, locally to you in here in New Jersey, that you think would mind getting on and talking to the public, I think we should do this again, expand it, get it growing, and keep on this until we get some answers. Because something's definitely happened. Something's definitely happening. I don't think it's Amazon. And I know I'm a little strong-worded when I say it is a possible invasion, but if you're from a foreign nation and you're not invited here and you're on our territory, it's an invasion. And seems like we can't do shit about it right now. And please remember what Mayor Ryan Hurd said: do not take matters into your own hands. Please, nobody's advocating for that, but you can cause more harm than anything else. Leave it to our so-called professionals. And with that being done, everybody have a good night.